We were contacted over the weekend to if we could assist with looking at a residence in Northport and potentially trying to figure out where Gabby's at. So we made contact with her boyfriend. Actually, I take that back. We made contact with the parents of her boyfriend in Northport, and were able to locate her vehicle. We subsequently took that vehicle, and it is currently in our possession. We're processing it for any potential evidence. We have attempted to speak with Brian. So far, his family has given us the name and phone number of their attorney. We do not have a search warrant for the residence. I think one thing is important to keep in mind is that we're not even sure that a crime has taken place. And we certainly are not sure that a crime has taken place within our jurisdiction in Northport. Yeah, I think that is very concerning. I think any reasonable person would probably, be concerned for their, significant other, their girlfriend, their wife, whoever, and want to work with us in finding her location.
Are you guys considering Brian a person of interest at this time? What can you tell me in reference to his status? Are you wanting to talk to him?
We would love to talk with him. I think we have to be careful in a sense of we are not the primary investigators on this case. So,
and if Brian Laundrie is watching this tonight, what do you want him to know?
I would just say, just help us. Just help us try to understand what is going on here. We're expending an enormous amount of resources and time, and her family. I mean, just listen to the pleas from her family. So I'm asking anyone who might have information to help us give answers, give closure, give a way and a path for us to find out what happened.
Just trying to stand back, and as a parent myself, I have a son and a daughter, trying to put myself in your shoes. It's impossible, believe me. I understand that, and I'm very sorry to all of you for living through this. I'm trying to understand why this boyfriend, ex-fiance, ends up back at his home in Florida and will not tell you where he last saw your daughter. Why won't he? Why any human being with a soul would be doing everything possible to help you get the answers to find your daughter. And every day that passes, now it gets more difficult, doesn't it?
It's scary and heartbreaking. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest with you. We are running out of time, and we're scared for Gabby. We think she might be in danger, and we just want him to talk. Just tell us, where was she? Where did you leave her? I want to just know what happened, and I'm getting angry now at this point, as you can tell. I'm beyond frustrated. As a mother to another mother, I beg his mother to make him speak, or at least for the parents to say something.
Yeah. Let me go to Joe Petito, Gabby's dad, and let me ask you, Joe. You asked the right question. You want to ask the boyfriend, where did you leave Gabby? Where did you last see her? Now, you suspect that this August 30th text was not actually sent from Gabby. Why do you suspect that? And what has been the outreach to this young man and his family in terms of, will you please help us find our daughter that you were with and you took her van home?
The outreach is, I think, 350 million plus people asking, where's Gabby? I mean, everyone's asking. You got one person not doing it. So, in all honesty, we're all trying to find the answer, and the only person who knows it is sitting over in their house over there. And you can't have a more frustrating situation. I mean, think about it. Look where we are. Everyone's sitting here trying to bring Gabby home, and the only one who doesn't care is the one who's supposed to care about her the most.
Did you reach out to his family and say, can you ask your son to help us? Can you ask him to put aside whatever legal advice? Why would you need legal advice if you're not involved in something nefarious? Why wouldn't you put aside everything when somebody's life may be on the line here?
You're asking the right questions, and we've reached out. I mean, we've reached out. I can't even tell you how many times in the media, and now we're asking everybody, to continue looking, because obviously the 3 people that live in that house just don't care. They can put whatever statement they want out. At the end of the day, they do not care. It's as cold and as cruel as you could possibly be, and they're over there. And so the rest of us and the rest of the country are doing everything they can. I get emails from strangers I've never met, dying to hell.
I'm so sorry. As a father, I'm so sorry. Nicole and Jim, let me ask you, why do you believe the August 30th message was not sent by Gabby? And do you have any evidence? Do you know where that ping came from? Because you can track where text messages actually originate from.
I'm sure the FBI has that information. I'm hoping they do. We know as little as you at this point, but I know my daughter, and if you do the math, we know that she didn't send it because he was home September 1st, and they never went to Yosemite. They never had plans to go to Yosemite. So it's obvious.
Yeah. And have you, I don't know if this young man's mother's alive. Is his mother alive? Did you ever reach out to her and say, can you please help me find my daughter?
Yes, I reached out to her on Friday the 9th. Or the 10th, I'm sorry. I texted her. I'm worried about the kids. I haven't heard from them. And I got nothing. Called, left messages, got nothing.
She won't even call you back?
Nope.
And Joe and Tara, you've reached out. They won't call you back?
No.
We've called on the 10th. I can't tell you how many times. We sent text messages. We're worried. We're calling the police. I mean, if someone texted me that they're calling the police because they can't find my son, I'm going to drop whatever I'm doing to call me back. But I guess it's evident how they run their household compared to 350 other million people in the country.
Joe and Tara, what do you make of this?
Her son was home at that time.
I'm sorry, Tara?
She knew her son was home at that time when we were texting her. At that point, we didn't know that he was home.
Joe and Tara, what do you make of the video that was released from the police? This encounter, they said it was more emotional and not physical. I guess they didn't see any signs of any physical altercation. Could you glean anything from that video?
Listen, I myself couldn't bring myself to watch the whole video, but that's me, all right? And I understand a lot of people have seen it and all that other stuff, and I get it.
Hey,
but
Joe,
really what that does is that yeah, I get it, but it distracts from my main focus right now. That video does nothing to help me find my daughter, because that was on August 12th. I last spoke to her on the 21st. So anytime after that, when Nikki spoke to her, anytime after that is where we're concentrating on. So that video is as whatever you want to call it, as it can be, distracts from everything that we're trying to do. We're trying to find Gabby. That video, we got contact after that. So to me, at this moment, that video doesn't mean as much as it says to her location.
Well, you asked the fundamental questions. Where'd you leave Gabby? Where'd you see her last? Nicole and Jim, let me ask you, have the police gone over that van with a fine-tooth comb?
I believe the police do. They have it in their possession. I believe they've done whatever they had to do with it. Again, we don't have a lot of information on the investigation itself. It's a very fluid, very moving investigation. Unfortunately, we wish they could divulge information to us, but they can't, and we understand why.
If anybody has any information, please contact the FBI. I want to say to all of you, I'm sincerely sorry. We're all praying for Gabby to get home safely. Hopefully he'll step up and give the information you need.
Gabby's family. Joe Petito is her father. Zoe Wickman is her cousin. And Mary Wickman is Gabby's aunt. And they are seated beside each other. Joe, if I can just start with you, any news, anything from the authorities, anything that might advance this case?
No, I mean, nothing that I have, so to be honest, I get the information almost as you guys get it. So no, I don't have anything new. I got some new frustrations based on a statement that was made, but all that comes second because we don't have Gabby, and we're still on job number one, and that's get Gabby. So we haven't lost focus of that, and that's something we're still spearheading. We got to get her home safe, and we'll look at all the rest of the stuff when that comes to it, because that stuff was on the 12th, and now we know we had contact with her on the 25th, so that still doesn't help me get to my objective.
And the objective, obviously, is to try to find out anything that might be possible, just in terms of what the last contact her fiance had with her was, and there's just nothing coming from them. To that end, Joe, you and Gabby's mom, combined families now, released a public letter to the Laundrie family, and this is what you wrote. You said, Gabby lived with you for over a year. She was going to be your daughter-in-law. How can you keep her location hidden? Please, if you or your family has any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. Tell us if we're even looking in the right place. Joe, the only word that we publicly have heard after that letter came out publicly was Cassie Laundrie, just with that very quick clip that we aired for ABC saying we just wish that she'd come home safely. We loved her too. How did that land with you?
It actually made a lot of sense, and it brings the things to light, because we've been looking for Gabby for how long, and they've known that Brian's been there since the first. So if she was, that was a very nice, well-written statement, but it does explain, if that's that family's version of love, to just ignore and not care that someone's gone and people are looking for them and the entire country's looking for them. That explains how we got to where we are today. Because, look at their version of what they call love. So, where was she?
It's just bizarre to see this. Just to see no response to this extraordinary letter that you sent out. I want to play one more moment from that body cam video. This is Gabby, visibly upset, saying that she needed to calm down. And it might give some insight as to her state of mind at that time, that she had that run-in with the police. Have a look at this.
You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him. I just I guess my vibe is I hear him be in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
I used to work at an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job. Okay. I was a nutritionist. That's my job. Cool. And I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. Have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been I don't know. He's
Mary and Zoe, I know that the FBI has asked the family not to discuss Brian and Gabby's relationship. I can understand that there may be reasons that are very important for this investigation. But is that the Gabby that you know in that video?
No, I don't know. I've always known Gabby to just be so kind and caring. She really was just a free-spirited minded. She was always happy. She literally lived in the middle of the desert, and she lived in a tent, and she was still always happy. I've never seen her cry, anything like that.
Stressed out.
Yeah, I've never seen her stressed out like that.
So, Joe, what do you make of that moment that you saw her? Try to just describe for me if that's a completely different person than someone you know who says that she's got, OCD and mental illness.
She likes to have things clean. You can call it OCD or not, whatever you want. Sorry, but it doesn't help me. We can discuss it all we want. If you want to sit here and go back and forth with it, that's fine. But it still doesn't help. That incident was on the 12th. We've spoken to her 2 weeks after that, and now and even after that, she's gone. So again, objective one. is finding her. And then we can figure out all the other stuff that she was trying to talk to in that video. Because I'll tell you, trying to make sure your place is clean, and she liked to have things methodical. And you got to apologize for being in a bad mood when you're in a van, for how many months? Listen, things can get a little testy from time to time. I don't know what happened. I don't know what started it. I wasn't there. I can't tell you. And based on a video from like that, I can't tell you it just breaks my heart. I don't want to see it. I didn't want to watch it. You have it up on the screen, so I had to watch it. Now here I am. I'm about to break down. It is what it is. I mean, we still got to focus on finding Gabby. If you could put the 1-800 number for the tip line up there, that would be awesome.
We will. Remind me what it is, Joe, if you have it offhand, and we'll get it up on a graphic for you.
1-800 FBI tips.
Okay, 1-800 FBI tips. We'll continue to remind the viewers about that. In the meantime, is there anything else that any of the three of you would like the viewers to know that might be helpful in trying to find Gabby?
She's got tattoos. She's got she's lost. She's hurt, and we got to help her. That beautiful girl right there that you see on your screen, that's her cousin. That's Zoe, and she loved her very much. And we got to bring her home so we can be a family again.
Well, we'll continue to watch for this. We're putting up that poster right now. It's 1-800 FBI tips. If you've seen Gabby, if you recognize her, if you know anything about this, if you recognize those tattoos. Joe Petito, Zoe Wickman, Mary Wickman, thank you to all three of you.
This is Gabby's last known location. Now, the couple wasn't due back in Florida until October, but instead police say that Gabby's boyfriend got home without her, informing no one more than 2 weeks ago, leaving behind no clues except for this place, the last known location.
With its quaint shops and mountain views, Jackson Hole, Wyoming is where you go to get away.
We flew from New York last night.
But for Gabby Petito's family, it's the total opposite.
This is any parent's absolute nightmare.
In what is now a needle in a haystack search, Petito's family splitting up to be in New York, Florida, and here, where they believe she was last seen exactly 3 weeks ago.
There's just something in our gut that says that we needed somebody here. This is my stepdaughter, Gabby Petito. She's gone missing in the area.
Jim Schmidt, Petito's stepdad, got here last night with a family friend. They've been posting flyers and advocating for Petito.
We'll go wherever it takes to find her.
Florida police say it would be a lot easier if the 22-year-old's boyfriend, now a person of interest in the case, would just talk.
You say she's the love of your life. You should be in the forefront.
Instead, police say Brian Laundrie has remained silent. The Petito's family says that won't stop them from finding her.
It's about protecting your kid, but it's also about doing the right thing. And the right thing is giving the information to us so we can get Gabby home. I'm hoping wherever she is that she's okay and she's safe. We'll go wherever it takes to find her.
You're a firefighter.
That's correct.
Is it hard for you to not be able to help your family when that's what you do?
Yeah, you spend your whole life, a good part of my life for over 20 years now, helping other people. And to be the one now that needs the help, our family needing the help, it's very humbling. It's a humbling experience, and it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and you just wish that you'd get a tip or something, and she's going to magically appear, and everything's going to be fine, and that's all we can hope for, that she's fine, and we find her soon.
I don't know how else to put it. It was her dream. She was like, this is what she wanted to do. She wanted to cross the country in a camper van and live the van life and just live free.
22-year-old Gabby Petito's parents say the couple documented every stop, spending time in Colorado and southern Utah.
If you look at her Instagram page, you can actually find a lot of evidence of where they were.
But then the pictures started slowing down. On August 21st, Joseph says a couple was in Salt Lake City. He knows because he ordered them Uber Eats.
And that was the last time I spoke to her.
Gabby's parents say the couple then left Salt Lake City for Grand Teton National Park around the 24th of August. It was the last time she would FaceTime with her mom.
She seemed okay to me at the time, other than I didn't know where the relationship was going with the boyfriend.
Then things get hazy.
She was making her way up to Yellowstone.
Nicole isn't sure if Gabby ever made it to Yellowstone, with communication growing sporadic and only via text.
I don't know, again, that was her texting me or not.
Then Gabby stopped responding altogether. Police in New York are taking the lead in the investigation. They've since found the couple's van, but no sign of Gabby.
It's an indescribable horror. I don't know how else to put it.
You literally break down every force. I can't go on social media. I can't. Anytime I see the picture, it's the worst. You know, it can't. It's not a describable feeling. It really isn't. It's a helplessness.
When asking her mom about the boyfriend,
We're not going to comment on any of that.
and her dad,
No comment.
Inside Edition reported her boyfriend came home in the van and lawyered up. Unsettling for the couple's Northport neighbors to hear.
To just come home and get a lawyer and say nothing doesn't really make him look good, does it?
Neighbors say they didn't notice anything suspicious before the trip. Northport police say there's no reason to believe a crime occurred within city limits, even though the van was recovered here.